January?
Me? I'm
What
in my
is that?
basement. This is
What
my
is
basement,
that?
man.
Oh, okay. That looks like a
Yeah, yeah,
freak.
yeah. We
That looks like a,
uh
dude. That looks like either like a playroom or like a raceway or something. Like that's weird, bro.
It is weird, man. But if you turn this, we got a ping pong table. There's some other, night. I mean, listen, I spray painted this when I was in seventh grade, so it was a studio and all
You
these
did
different
it
things.
like
I
two
mean,
years ago.
yeah, 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, we got Jeremy Barfield on already at Barf on Field. I want to start this off by saying, just kind of introducing Jeremy for those of you who don't know him. First of all, if you don't know him, I'm not sure you live on planet Earth, but he tweeted this a few days ago. I don't quite understand why some dudes get so offended when I measure up in a public bathroom urinal. My eyes are so completely harmless. This is why Jeremy is not only known as, from some, as a very funny dude, but can also be a bit intimidating. So, Jeremy, if I ever seem scared, it's just because you come off such as an intimidating figure to myself and Nick, obviously. So, first off, Jeremy, how's the offseason going for you? I know you've made some comments about the treatment of minor leagues. You're now coaching for a collegiate to a higher level team, and I hear you're getting married. So, what has this offseason been like for you?
It's been pretty busy, man. I don't like. I literally just hit for the first time a few days ago, and I've been so busy coaching, wedding planning, staring at dudes' wieners that I've just been busy, man.
That's very busy. Wow, yeah, no, that keeps you busy for sure, especially the last one. That's
Yeah.
a part of. But when you're talking about the hitting stuff, last season you look at the stats, you pitched some, you hit some. I don't think too many people know because we obviously know you transformed from a very good hitter, and it's been kind of publicly known you preferred hitting into the pitcher. Obviously, a lot of talent on both sides. Your YouTube link on your Twitter is you as an outfielder. So, if you could have it back, would you say I absolutely wish I could have just stayed in that position? And last season, what was it like for you, kind of sharing time, hitting and pitching, for those of you who weren't able to watch you day to day?
Oh man, I mean, I never wanted to pitch in the first place. Like literally, I was forced to pitch against my will. I'm not making excuses. I mean, it's just the facts, man. Even asked to be released, and they said no. So literally, I had to. So I had to do what I had to do. And I
Right.
mean, I had pitching had its ups and downs. Mostly downs because pitching sucks. Because especially being in the bullpen, man, just sitting there, getting dry humped every 2 or 3 days, and not in the good way. Well, I don't think any of them are the good way. But it was brutal, man. I'm in stinking A ball with like 19-year-olds, and I'm sitting in the bullpen. I don't even come in to pitch unless we're losing. Like I straight up asked my coaches. I asked them, I'm like, what am I doing here? Like this isn't helping anybody out. So I straight up told them like I'm not doing this anymore. I started hitting in the cage on my own and started getting my swing back. It only took about like honestly, it took me about a week to get it back. I hadn't picked up a bat in literally a year,
Wow.
and so I was still hitting the cage and pitching like still in the bullpen. And then they're like, "Do you not want to pitch anymore?" I was like, "I never wanted to pitch." So all right, they're like, "All right, well then just finish out the series in the bullpen, and then you can go you can go back to the outfield." And so I went back to the got not only did I stop pitching, I got promoted, well, back to Double A, which I don't know. I don't consider promotion considering how long I've been there. And
Right.
then they put me back in the outfield, and turns out, man, that added perspective from pitching made me into a better hitter than ever.
Right. With Sean Doolittle's success switching from a first baseman, I believe, to one of the top closers in baseball, did Oakland, seeing him thrive in the bullpen, was that part of the reason why you switched over?
Yeah. Yeah, they figured, well, it worked for him, then might as well work for you too. I'm like, well, he pitched in college, and he was a really good pitcher in college, man. I pitched a couple times in high school. Like, it's not really the same thing. So, I don't know. They had their reasons. It was more so that they didn't have any space in the outfield for me in AAA. So, they're like, well, we're not going to move you down, and we'll see. We know you have a good arm from the outfield, but obviously it's not the same. It's not the same throwing mechanics. It's not the same throwing motion. It's a lot different throwing from the outfield from the mound, and you can't just throw somebody on the mound and expect them to dominate right away unless they have some kind of background.
Right. Now, last time you came on the show, when you were speaking of the transition, I guess you weren't as freely speaking about how you truly felt, maybe about the switch. Has your perspective changed, and have you been able to kind of speak your mind more so now that you're a free agent and not necessarily tied to the organization? It seems like maybe this is your time to kind of let loose and be completely honest with the fans and give them a deeper perspective from a minor league player's take and from you specifically being forced to change positions.
Yeah, they took a huge steaming dump on me, man. To be honest, and I'm referring to my former employer. So yeah, honestly, like it was kind of a joke because I knew some of the guys I was with in Stockton, like that team was loaded full of bats prospects, right?
Right.
And I was miserable, dude. I mean, I was miserable. I was literally going entire series without even pitching. Like it was brutal, and I was not fun to be around. I'm really not that fun to be around most of the time, anyways. But I was miserable, and then I go back to hitting. And then some of those guys got moved up. They're like, dude, you're a totally different person. I could tell how miserable you were before then. I thought you were just a prick before, but like, nah, dude, I was just so miserable. And like, man, this is what I'm gonna tell people from now on, dude. Don't let anybody force you to do something you want to do. I mean, as long as it's legal, but sometimes not even then. But like, dude, like this is what I was born to do, and then they're gonna take that away from me, and it sucks because you don't really appreciate something as much until it's taken away from you, you know. And then once I was lucky enough to get that second chance to go back. Well, I kind of forced their hand to do it, but I mean, it's what I was born to do, and it took, and like, I would have never, honestly, I'm kind of glad it happened though, because I would have always had that cloud kind of hanging over my head. You know, people are like, oh, well, he can hit, but he's trying on the mound. He throws so hard, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, all right, well, now I did it, and I was sitting 88 to 90. It's like, man, you can shake that out of a tree. I mean, now they're not going to take teams aren't going to take me for what they think I could be. They take me for what I am. So that helps.
Right. With Oakland recently kind of unloading the team, trading, Josh Donaldson, Brandon Moss. What are your thoughts on just the Athletics doing this as a whole? I mean, you're not employed by them anymore. I mean, do you think they're making the right moves trading these guys? What do you think?
Man, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I don't think anybody knows what they're doing. I could care less, dude. That doesn't. I honestly, I don't know. There's a method to Billy Bean's madness. So, I don't know. They stay competitive somehow with a bunch of it's like a island of misfit toys, I guess, and they figure out a way to compete each and every year. But I don't. I'm glad I'm out of there. I just need a new start. Good for them. Whatever they're doing.
Now, before we get completely away from the new start and not dwell on the past, I'm wondering, you said some of the times were miserable. What helped you get through those times? I mean, was it family involvement, certain music? I mean, how did you get through the day-to-day? Minor leagues say it's a grind, but, for you, basically you're saying you're forced to a position. You weren't being played. You were born to be a hitter. It sounds like a pretty bad situation in your shoes. So how did you get through those very, uncomfortable, miserable times as you described?
A lot of four-letter words, a lot of ping pong.
We got ping pong right here, man. There's more to the basement than you thought.
Hey, you don't want to see me. I got you. But seriously, it was a lot of, honestly, like, I don't know if I handled it perfectly. I mean, I think I handled it all right. I didn't kill anybody. Lord knows I wanted to, especially the top prospects. They're all complaining about the travel in the California League. I'm like, this is the best traveling league and full season league in all of minor leagues. Like, shut up. Like, stuff like that. But I had fun. Like, I had ladder ball. You ever play ladder ball, right?
I have not. I've heard a lot about it. No.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about? You guys know what I'm talking about, ladder ball?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, of course.
It got to a point in the season, dude. I get maybe like a month and it's probably about 2 months in to where like I was basically on mop-up duty, emergency guy, whatever you want to call it, man. I was just wasting away in that bullpen. So I got a collapsible ladder ball kit to bring into the bullpen so we played during the game. Yeah, it was awesome. Like straight up during every game, like from the anthem, we set it up after the anthem. And then we would play probably until about the fourth inning. We go check on the game, warm up the outfielders in between innings, whatever. But then after the fourth inning or so, or maybe later, depending on how the starter was going, we would keep on playing. Then we'd finally shut it down. But yeah, man, we had a good thing going. But
So the coaches kind of, it sounds like the coaches in a way were like, yeah, we had to make this decision. They told us to, but like at the same time, they understood where you're at and they kind of just let you do in a way whatever you wanted. It sounds when you mention things like that. Is that not accurate?
I mean, I wasn't doing exactly what I wanted, but I was. The thing is, in that situation, I was older than everybody, and I had been around for a while. Like it was my sixth full season. Like I know exactly what I have to do when I have to do it. So I wasn't down for all the. You've heard guys say eyewash, man. I wasn't up for all that eyewash. Like if it's not gonna help me, then I'm not gonna do it. And that's the main thing is the strength conditioning program. Like those coaches, man. Like I get it. Those guys are fresh out of college, or like certain guys is their first time being with like a full season. Like, dude, I'm not like some 19-year-old kid, man. I'm older than you. Like, don't tell me to do this and this when I know my body better than anybody. Like, I'm straight up tell you, I'm not doing that. I'm doing this. And if you want to find me, good luck collecting that money because I don't make much anyways.
Right. Saying you don't make much money. How's your kind of deal, your partnership with Pro 44 Gloves? How's that treating you?
Oh, it's good, man. This is coming back for my fourth year now with them. So, yeah, it's good, man. If anything that's been good in my career, man, it's been them. They've been fantastic.
Right.
Now on the salary, or unless
Go ahead,
no,
Jack.
go ahead, Nick. Okay. On the salary thing too, because you had a few tweets recently that was quoted in an article on our site. The minor league free agency process is an absolute joke, and you also said all I got for the last 6 years of my life was a letter thanking me for your service. Later in the article, they gave some context to it, saying there's a lawsuit filed against baseball saying that they violate many state and federal labor laws, that you make $3,000 to $7,000 in a 5-month period. You have to obviously get jobs when you're not playing. That's below the poverty line. Even fast food workers make some twice as much as that if they're working full time. Health insurance is another issue. I guess if you could inform the viewers and voice your opinion at the same time, how would you describe the treatment of minor league players that don't receive the $2+ million signing bonuses that the top guys get? Just someone who signs out of college or someone whose dreams it is to make major leagues. Is it worth it at the end of the day with the kind of the treatment and the benefits?
I mean, it's worth it if you make it, but if it's not, then you got some cool life experiences, but you pretty much wasted, however long you played, really. But I mean, it can be worth it. I mean, it sucks, dude. It's a grind. Unless you're a bonus baby, man. Unless you're a bonus baby, you're gonna be struggling. But I mean, that's with a lot of jobs. I get it, but a lot of jobs, you're not. You make your salary, and then you gotta pay however much back in clubhouse dues for every day, all that kind of stuff. Like guys are making, like I'll never forget, I was in AAA 2013, and guys are making like 15 grand a month, and I'm making, and this is in California, so taxes are crushing you. But
Right.
I'm making literally, I was, what is it, 2,100, and then you're paying like every day. So I mean, that's a month, and then so I forget I don't know however much that is a day, but it's literally like a fifth of however much I was making a day was going back towards clubhouse dues, and that's not even. Then on top of that, you got to find like housing.
Right.
Let's see. I mean, obviously transportation depends. Everybody's situation's different, and but you pay the same no matter stuff like that. It's the same no matter how much you make. Like it sucks. It's a grind, but like the big thing is, man, that's like baseball anyways. Like it's the most expensive sport. Like hockey don't count because we don't play that where I'm from. But it's like the most expensive sport to play growing up, like with equipment and tournaments, all that stuff. They don't give out scholarships. If you're black, good luck because you ain't going to college anyways playing baseball. Let's see. I mean, it's one of those sports where, like, if you're good and you stick with it, like, you got a good chance to make it if you're in a good situation. And, like, a lot of my buddies, they're all like, man, I just wish I would have kept at it. Like, yeah, I mean, it sucked, but it's worth it.
Right. Now I'm wondering with the nutrition side of things, because they're telling you should be eating this, meeting certain needs, but then the budgetary, how does that even out? How does someone afford a healthy food? You're shaking your head already. What kind of diet are the minor league players on a day-to-day basis? Let the fan who thinks they're eating at Whole Foods and Trader Joe's in on the real truth here.
I mean, it depends on the guy. It depends on how much money you make. It depends on what you want to spend your money on. If you want to spend it on eating and then not have anything else, whatever. Like I know guys that would The big thing is guys making smoothies. You know, the NutriBullets, guys getting those and making the smoothies and stuff, the green smoothies, all that stuff. Or what was the other one? Oh yeah, one of the guys went gluten free. That ain't cheap. But he was a 40-man guy, so he had that bread, so it didn't really matter. And then, I mean, I wasn't eating McDonald's or nothing. Like, I was going to, it's a lot of Chipotle, but that's good. Like, I'm straight with Chipotle. It's not real Mexican food, but Chipotle is good food. It'll fill you up. It ain't bad for you. I mean, it wasn't like I was starving. You know what I mean? It's not like I was going to bed hungry. Like, I was eating, and we pay our clubhouse dues, so that goes towards a couple meals a day, anyways. And it was good food depending on your clubby.
Right. Is your ultimate goal still, throughout your whole career, is Jeremy Barfield's goal to still one day make it to the major leagues?
Yeah, what else would it be? I ain't playing this to be a career minor leaguer, but man, I'm just playing this. My goal is to play long enough for someone to realize that they're tripping for not having me in the big leagues already. I know I'm a big leaguer. It's up for somebody else to finally realize that. I'm not the same player I was when I first got drafted. I'm 6 years older, 6 years wiser, 6 years better. So if I wasn't going to be a big leaguer, if I didn't think in my mind that I was going to be a big leaguer, that I am a big leaguer, I'd definitely be doing something probably a little bit more productive in my life than playing minor league baseball.
Right. Of course, your dad, Jesse Barfield, your brother, Josh Barfield, I'm sure they've had a huge role in your success as a baseball player. But outside of your family, who's been your biggest role model?
Oh, man, I got too many to even – oh, man, I got a lot, man. Over the years, I've had like Ricky Henderson, like recently Brett Boone. He's been awesome. I mean, it's too many to count, but honestly, man, it's nice to have role models, absolutely. But I mean, at the end of the day, you got to motivate yourself. And because the one thing I noticed that throughout my career, and I'm not saying like role model wise, like those guys. There's certain guys that you shut up and listen to, But there's also people who just want, like, they'll tell you this and that just so one day if you make it, they could take the credit,
I want to ask specifically on Ricky Henderson because there's a lot of kind of publicity on that, saying he's kind of like you're kind of like the son he never had. You guys are very close. Can you just speak on some of the high points of your guys' relationships and just you and his relationship in general with the baseball?
Haha, man, it's awesome. Man, I mean, he played my dad with the Blue Jays and the Yankees. Like, he's known my family since before I was born. And it's kind of cool to come full circle to where, like, he plays my dad and then he's coaching with me, like, since he came on board in 2010 when I was in the outfield in Stockton. And then, like, every year since, like, he's been helping me out. It's funny because he was the main one who was mad whenever they made me pitch.
Really?
Yeah, man. He was awesome, man. He's one of those guys that he could do everything, but he don't know how he did it, man. It's funny hearing him try to teach. He knows certain things, like he knows how to steal bases. I'll give him that. But he's just a freak of nature.
A freak of nature.
Right. So over the off season, outside of hitting, outside of potentially getting married.
Potentially,
yeah. I didn't mean to say that.
It's
upcoming marriage coming up. What do you do to keep busy? Any specific movies you watch? Anything you do to just kind of pass time and get better for the upcoming season?
Oh, okay. We're unleashing it. It's happening. Is this a DVD? I'm guessing. What do we got here?
Blake Griffin commercials. Think about it.
Oh, the GameFly?
Yeah.
And what games are we playing?
Man, I got GTA 5. I got what is this one? I got let's see, obviously Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Assassin's Creed Unity, Far Cry 4, NBA 2K15, Halo, the new Halo one with all of them. What else, man? I don't know. I lose track, dude. That's what I do. That's literally what I do. I do that. What's that?
I was gonna say I gotta ask on the GTA 5 stuff. GTA 4 was insane. Liberty City, awesome. GTA 5, I played for a little bit. People told me that kind of the technology, the effects of when you crash into a car now, it's like much more realistic. Is that true? Is it kind of a pain to have it more of a realistic side of the game versus the other one?
I mean that kind of adds to it. Like it's not like perfectly realistic, or else it wouldn't be fun.
Right.
But it kind of is now to where I mean, dude, I'm a big time gamer, like phew, big time. So I got the GTA 5 just came out on next gen, so I got it on the Xbox One, and they have first person mode, and I'm kind of driving, and I feel like I'm playing like Forza, like the rally car game, because I'm first person driving, and then like I straight up got hit. I went head on into an 18-wheeler, and I went flying through the windshield. Boom, wasted, dead.
Jesus. Now,
Yeah, are
did
you
you
an
ever
MLB The Show guy?
Oh, no, 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 no,
No?
no. I don't play baseball games, man. I play enough baseball as it is. Last thing I want to do is strike out in a video game. Strike out enough in real life, you know.
That's true. So you've never like got on the game to be like, all right, let me pick myself or like trade for myself, give like Cole Hamels, John Lester, and someone else for myself. You know what I'm saying? Kind of boost that like mentality. I'm in the MLB The Show. You've never done that?
No, man. I created myself my player in NBA 2K, but that's about it, dude. When I'm playing video games, it's getting far away from work as possible. And at the end of the day, baseball is work, you know.
True.
Very true. Who do you think the most talented teammate you've had throughout the minor leagues that not many people know about?
Hmm. Oh, haha, yeah, there's one that comes to mind. And his story, I don't know if you guys know about this. He's definitely the best. Yeah, he's the best player I've ever played with. Grant Desmay. You guys probably don't know about that one. So I played with him in 2009. And then, so he was drafted like first or second round maybe out of Cal Poly. And he played like 11 games or something like that in 2 years, kept getting hurt, wrist, shoulder, whatever. Finally gets healthy. Starts out 2009, 0 for 27 with 24 strikeouts. And granted, he's like 22 in low A. So then he ends up that season split between low A and high A. 285, 30 bombs, 35 jacks.
Jesus.
No, not 35 jacks, 35 bags. So he goes 30, 30, 35 for 35 in stolen bases, played an unbelievable center field, and had a hose. And he goes to the fall league, hits. Oh, did I lose one of you guys?
No, you're good. Keep talking.
Okay.
He'll be back.
Goes to the fall league, ends up. Uh, he starts off. He hits 10 home runs in the first 12 games.
Wow.
Yeah. And then after the fall league, he quits to become a priest.
Really?
Yep.
Found a calling there. Wow, that's very interesting. I'll have to look into that because that's you don't hear that every day. I thought for a second when you said the most underrated player, I was thinking Jeremy Barfield. I was slowly chanting Jeremy Barfield.
Nah, man, I'm not talking about. Nah, like nah.
A team's gotta get you though. I mean, you're too good of a hitter to just sit there. You've been an all-star in multiple leagues. You know, at this point, do you feel like you have earned the right to sit back and have a team say, Jeremy, you're on the team, or are you trying to sell yourself to other teams?
Dude, I got 6 full seasons. I don't think I really have to sell myself. I have a lot of numbers to back up what kind of player I am, and then also for me not picking up a bat in a year, and then coming back and hitting double A pitching, and hitting it well, and my play discipline was way better than it's ever been. I mean, I think that speaks multitudes on how far I've progressed as a player. So I guess this is me selling myself, but at the end of the day, these are facts only.
Absolutely. Now, one last thing on the kind of non-baseball side. I'm wondering, you seem like you have a strong opinion on certain things. And first of all, what inspired the change from base clogger to barf on the field, and then a two-parter? Wait, go ahead.
Remember, I had the Barfield rage in between. That was because I was pitching. I couldn't have. That's the thing.
Oh.
I couldn't have base clogger anymore as a pitcher. And so I was like, okay, well, the whole Balfour Rage thing was pretty big in Oakland. So I was like, all right, that'll be fun. So I did that. But then once I went back to hitting, somebody took base clogger, and I hit 2 triples and not that many games when I came back, so I wasn't no base clock anymore.
Right.
No,
Not anymore. Not anymore.
not anymore. And I didn't want to be Barfield raised. They just think I'm some angry black dude, so I had to switch it to something else, which it's still kind of like, self-deprecating humor, something like that. I
Right.
almost said
Yeah.
self-deprecating.
Say so, yeah.
Same thing, self-defecating humor, taking a dump on myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like when, yeah, because you mentioned your daily routine, staring at a lot of wieners. I would say in a way that might be self-deprecating in some sort of fashion. I'm wondering though, what trends in society do you dislike the least? Do you have an order of them, or just certain things that stand out to you? You're like, man, why? Just why?
Selfies.
What was that?
Selfies.
Selfies. You're not a selfie man. We won't see a barf on the field selfie anytime soon.
Nah, man. If you do, it's gonna be me making fun of somebody else taking a selfie. You won't see a selfie from me very often. I'll throw one in, but it's not gonna be serious at all. And then let's see, man. I got a bunch of them. Let's see, people that don't text back, but that's just being rude.
Yeah.
Let's see, things that annoy me. There's a lot, to be honest. I almost too many to name, to be honest.
Would
Talking
you
on
ever try the duck face as a selfie?
Man, that just goes in selfies in general, bro. I don't think any dude should ever take a selfie anyways. If you're a girl, I guess you get a free pass if you're attractive, but if you're a dude, man, you lose your man card if you're taking a selfie. Like, I feel kind of guilty right now being on this thing because it's kind of like a selfie.
It
I
is.
wish somebody else was holding my computer right now.
Well, if you give us a duck face, you would be giving us a selfie right now, but
Nah,
not
I ain't
technically.
doing that. You
Not
ain't gonna find
good.
me. Nah, I won't give it that face.
All right.
Now, what
Nah.
about is Josh Barfield big into selfies? What's he up to lately?
Nah, I don't talk about my brother. Nah, he don't like that. He's private. He ain't big into selfies. He ain't big into anything, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, you are obviously not into selfies either, so you got there's
that's
that.
one thing we have in common besides our last name.
Selfies. Interesting,
No.
interesting choice
Hate
there.
yourself.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else that stands out in your mind as trends in society that you just want to get rid of?
Oh, okay. I got one.
You got one?
Not only just selfies, but selfies with like a random quote. Like, what are you doing? You're inspiring somebody with your pound of makeup on. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I
Like,
understand.
it doesn't inspire anybody. Or like ridiculous amount of hashtags, like stuff like that. Like, no, that's not a hashtag. That's not trending. You putting you putting some stupid hashtag ain't trending. Like no offense, you're not gonna ever trend. Like, no, it's not funny. It's not cool.
No offense.
You're not a fan of those selfies of some girl at the beach and then the caption like God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers or something like that. You're not a fan of that?
Yeah, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's so stupid, man. You just ruined. Like, hey, first off, girl, you took a halfway decent selfie and you just ruined it with some stupid quote. Like,
Respect that.
dang, good lord.
Yeah, I feel the pain. I do. High schoolers do that a lot because, as you said earlier, I'm what 13, right?
Yeah, well, what's
Oh,
it, seventh grade? Seventh
Seventh
grade.
graders are really into seventh graders are into that LMFAO. They're really into this like for like stuff recently, like follow for follow. Their whole life is based on followers, but they will never reach 50K as you, my man. So again, Jeremy Barfield, thanks so much for joining us tonight. We've had some fun. I apologize for the technical issues at first. Before we leave, you get the last word if you have anything you want to say to your fans out there for Barf on the field. If you want to talk about looking at wieners, if you want to talk about selfie quotes, anything, the floor is yours.
Oh, okay. Well, first and foremost, like, people follow me on Twitter, they think like they know me. First off, you don't know me, you just know the stuff that I tweet out. And secondly, when it comes to that, like, I like to have fun with it. I get angry. I get stupid, whatever. But it's all in good fun. I didn't force you to follow me, so whatever. But all besides that, like, I love the game of baseball. I don't love every aspect about it. I hate certain aspects about it, but I still, at the end of the day, it's what I was born to do. I love each and every day that I'm a ball player is a good day.
Absolutely. Well, we'll end on that very